Hello, YouTube. It's your boy YGO King of Scrubs here. I hope that recorded everything. My mic's been acting a little funky today. The Duelist Nexus pre-release came this past weekend, and we played something nobody was ready for, which was Unchained, as you can clearly see. Nobody was ready for me to be on this. Everybody at my locals fully expecting me to be on Rescue Ace. I've been hyping that deck up for a while now, but that deck is not budget-friendly at all. I have the whole deck, and I'm happy to say I have the whole deck. But Hydrant shooting up to $45 a piece is not friendly at all. This whole deck, Unchained, as of right now, you can pick the whole thing up, as of recording this video, for $50. That's main and extra. There is a tech card in here you don't have to play, but you can if you want. I am not playing the tour guide package. I did not like it in testing. It was very bricky, and if you summon Tour Guide, get Ash, Impermed, or Drolled, and have no extenders, you just can't play. I would rather play things to replace if I'm going to get Ash, Impermed, or Drolled. We did walk away in second place, winning ourselves a Crimson Dragon. This card is not okay. This card needs to go away, but it's nice to have. I'm super excited to have it. Hopefully that gets banned sometime in the near future. But yeah, everybody was fully prepared and expecting me to be on Rescue Ace. I've been on that deck before the new cards, and I have all the new cards. I'm really excited to play that deck, but I was also excited to have this deck and have a nice budget alternative, and I really like this deck. It was a lot of fun to play. We're going to get into the deck profile here. Like I said, I'm not on the tour guide package. I don't like that. It's super bricky and super susceptible to hand traps. We are playing three. Let's move those over. 3 Ahara. This card is one of your extenders for the deck. He's also a floater. He can summon himself by popping a card, a set, or an Unchained, and then he can float whenever he's destroyed into another Unchained monster from deck. We play 3 of the Rocky. I have no idea how to pronounce his name. I have been trying for weeks. I do not know. I call him the white one. I'm not going to lie. He can provide as a disruption on your opponent's turn, as he has a quick effect to pop, and he can float. He can also be a 1-card pseudo combo. If you have... I guess he can't be a 1-card pseudo combo, but he can be close. He's a 1.5 card combo. You need any other card to set and go off with, but moving on. Next, we did play 2 Shamara. Again, I'm bad with names. You can criticize me all you want. I'm bad with them. We played 2 of him. I've seen a lot of builds on 3. I tested out 3, and a lot of people told me to play 3. I do not like 3. I kept bricking on it. I would open it and have nothing to do with it. It would be my only summon, and it would be bad. From here, we are playing 3 of our new boy. This card makes the deck go. The Shavara, absolutely amazing card. Remember, you can recycle him from grave with the new Link monster. A lot of people don't realize that and keep adding him from deck and go through 2 of them on their first turn, when you only need to go through 1 on your first turn. Leaving some in deck becomes very helpful. We are playing some of the other cards in the deck that you'll see here in just a second. These allow you to continuously float as they put themselves back. We're playing 1 of the new Blue Boy. He's an extender from Grave, and he can also pop spell and traps. He does help by popping floodgates. I can't tell you how many games where I had him in Grave and had 2 of the 2 different traps set, and I could literally just summon him by popping 1. Unfortunately, I'd miss against a floodgate, and then I'd be able to use his effect to pop the other one and pop the floodgate, and then still get the summon and be able to go off. He does put himself on bottom of deck after he summons himself from grave, so if you don't use him as XE material but use him as Link, he puts himself back. That ends up being very helpful because you need to put stuff back into deck to be able to float, and I found myself forgetting that effect, and nobody... pointed it out to me until later that I was forgetting it in game 1, but that didn't end up mattering too much as game 1, round 1 against Cash, as later in the match he ended up being banished anyways. It only mattered for literally game 1 where I won the dice roll. After that, we are playing 2 Abomination Unchained Soul. I play 2. I've seen a lot of builds on 1. This is another card that puts himself back. If he's destroyed if he gets destroyed, he summons himself from the graveyard during the end phase, and then when he leaves the field, he shuffles himself back into deck. I play 2 because if you start with him in your opening hand and only one of like the small guys or like the white guy here, he can become a full combo piece, and you can continue your plays with only opening just him and him. Very good card, though. The last Unchained card we play is One Disaster. I hate this card. It is an absolute brick of a card. Drew it a lot. I drew it a lot. But I would not remove it. It ends up coming up to start off a lot of combos, being able to just float into this and then break an opponent's board by just going Link. A lot of my opponents were ending on Spell and Trap Negates, but not Monster Negates, and this helped me break that by just having... he's around here somewhere, this guy. By just having him, I was able to break that. So, would not get rid of him as my... Come on, focus. 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 My camera's having a little trouble focusing. But that's it for the Unchained monsters in the main deck. Very good. Absolutely like that lineup. I don't think I'm going to change that lineup. I'm going to keep it the same. My matchups this weekend were against Cash round 1, Tier round 2, Infernoble round 3, and then against Satellar Knights round 4. And the Satellar Knight player was the one who beat me as I went X3, taking second and getting this instead of the mat. But yeah. All great games. I recorded the Infernoble match and was hoping to post it, but the last 2 minutes got corrupted and deleted, and when I went back to try and undo it, apparently I corrupted the original file, and the last 2 minutes are gone. So I might just post it without the last 2 minutes, but whatever. My hand trap lineup for this was, I did play 3. Why are we not... okay, we're focusing a little more. There we go. I played 3 Droll Mockbird, 3 Ash Blossom. Absolutely amazing hand traps. Love them. A hand trap that I was unsure of and might end up taking out as it didn't do much. Everybody was playing around it, and it didn't really come up. Nibiru the Primal Being, I may switch this out for something. I'm possibly thinking some Ghost Ogres or something. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm going to try a few different things, but it wasn't bad. I probably would side it. A lot of people were not ready for it game 1, but then games 2 and 3, they were around it, and I wouldn't draw it in game 1 is the annoying part. I'd draw it in games 2 or 3, and they're already prepared because they thought it was in the sideboard. But that does it for my monster lineup. The only thing I'm considering switching is the Nibirus, but other than that, absolutely love the lineup. Like I said, might try some different hand traps. Haven't fully decided yet. From here, we'll move on to the spells. I am playing 3 Abominations Prison. This is technically the most expensive engine piece in the deck, as it is $6. Everything else has dropped below that. You do need 3 of this card. It can be a starter and a Rhoda. You definitely want 3 of it. I would not play the deck without 3 of it. Luckily, it does have the reprint, which is the one I'm using, and the reprint is sitting pretty cheaply. We did play 1 Wailing. This card wasn't bad, but I'm not sure how I feel about it. I don't know. I haven't decided whether I'm keeping it in or taking it out, but for now it's in here. But that's all the Unchained spells we're playing. From here, we are playing Triple Tax. This is technically the most expensive card. I don't know its current price tag. I checked earlier, but I forgot it. I'm sorry. You don't have to play this card. I did like this card a lot. A lot of people on a lot of hand traps right now, and this card helps give you back resources or play through them. And then finally, to round out my spells, I played 1 Call by the Grave. This card still needs banned. For some reason, Konami has decided to keep it around for no reason whatsoever, but would very much like to see this card go. But until it does, I'm going to be playing it, obviously. I know a lot of people are on the Kaiju package with this deck. I kept bricking on the Kaiju package. Like, I want to go first with this deck, and going first, I would win the dice roll, choose to go first, and I'd open a lot of Kaijus and just not be able to play. So that's why I'm not on the Kaiju package, in case anybody's curious. We'll go over my traps now. We played 3 of the Abominations Chamber of the Unchained. It's your monster born or an extender from hand after turn 1 if you get to set it. You will probably grab it on turn 1 and have access to it. It's a very good card. It also floats whenever it's destroyed while it's set. If your opponent's not playing Cosmic, I had a lot of people playing Feather Duster and Lightning Storm this weekend, and they were just setting me off, which was fantastic. Then we played Escape of the Unchained. We played 3 of it. This card is a what's called 2-prong attack, where you destroy one of your cards and one of your opponents if you're destroying an Unchained card, which you will be because you have to. It does target, by the way. You'll set off your Unchained monster. It also has the floating effect where if it's set and gets popped, then you get to summon from deck. To round out the last of the cards, it's a 40-card main deck. We are playing 3 impermanents. This card was fantastic this weekend. I had a hand where I opened, it was a game 2, and I opened all 3 of these, and then I also opened a evenly matched and one of the big guys, and I couldn't really play, but neither could my opponent. It was absolutely hilarious. But yeah, that does it for the main deck. It is exactly 40. I don't have much I would change about it. Maybe the Nibiru's, that's about it. I do like triple tactics this format. If you can pick them up, I do recommend picking them up. We'll move on to the extra deck now. There's a filler card in the extra deck, just a fair warning, because I couldn't find the card I wanted to play. But we were playing 2 Unchained Soul of Rage. Great card. It provides one of your going first interruptions where you set it up and then you can link off your opponent's stuff during their turn as a quick effect. It does target to do that. Remember that. That is important. And then it adds back from grave when it goes to grave if it's destroyed by a card effect. From there, we do play 2 Unchained Soul Lord of Yanma. Lord of Yanma. I'm still getting used to him. He's the new one. He is a Rhoda on summon, and then he's not just a Rhoda. You can add from deck or grave. Remember that. A lot of people don't add from grave and will go through their red guys really quick and run out really quick. I've watched a lot of players do that. But you don't need to do that. And then if a card is destroyed while he's in your graveyard, you can banish this guy from your graveyard to summon one of your Unchained monsters from your grave, and then optional to pop a card on the field, or on your side of the field specifically. From there, we do play 2 Anguish. He helps break boards. I can't tell you how many times I walked from Rage into Anguish, back into a Rage, just to end on a Rage on their turn and clear their board. Absolutely fantastic. From there, we did play 1 Unchained Abomination. I only made this card a few times this weekend. It's really good to have. Its pop effect does come up quite a bit. So I would definitely play at least one of it, if nothing else. But yeah, that does it for the Unchained monsters. Now onto a few of the more generic monsters. We are playing 1 Muckracker. It's a bit of an extender. I only went into this once the entire weekend. It does Fiend lock you, but the entire extra deck is Fiend, so that doesn't really matter. From there, I am playing 1 Cerberus, 1 Phoenix, and 1 Unicorn. Move over a little. And 1 Griffin. The Griffin I'm probably going to switch out. It's not a bad card, but I didn't find myself wanting to make it at all. Most of the time when Griffin would come up, I would have much rather just made a Abomination. So I never went into it. It's probably going to come out, but it was there if I needed it. The last Link monster we play is an Underworld Goddess. This card, it didn't come up for me this weekend, but I've had it come up so many times in the past that I'm not going to switch it out. Most of the time you can break your opponent's board without needing this card, but it's there if you do need it. Very good card. It's cheap. I recommend picking it up. I recommend playing it, and it is a Fiend, so you don't have to worry about when you get Fiend locked, because remember, all the Unchained monsters, all these guys, Fiend lock you. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but I'm mentioning it now. They Fiend lock you. That's why the extra deck's all Fiend. We did play the High King Caesar, the D Wave High King Caesar. Oh, that is way off. But he is a non-once per turn negate that is a rank 6, so you can go into it with the new cards. He negates summons. Any card or effect that would summon, he can detach to just negate and destroy it. We do play him because we can end on him going first, and then that just puts up technical 2 negates. I can't tell you how good it was to play against Cash, where it just outed things like their birth. Stuff like that. Absolutely amazing card. You need to play this card. It's penny stonks. You can probably find it in your bulk. If not, you can probably find it at your local shop in their like 25-cent box. Very good card. The filler card that was not supposed to be in here. Just not supposed to be in here, but I couldn't decide on the last card and I couldn't find a good filler, so I just threw this in. I made it one time for lulz this weekend, but it was the Musrivum, the Stringed Djinn, and this card just detaches to double its attack. During the damage step, if Djinn Exceed battles, you can detach to double that card's attack. I poked and detached for game one time. It was funny. But he's not supposed to be in here. It is here, though. But yeah, I thought it was funny, so... But don't play him. Do not play him. No, 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 no. But yeah, that's it for the deck. It is exactly 40 with the 15 extra deck. Wouldn't change much, like I said, only considering changing the nibs. But I do think this deck's very good, very budget-friendly, and easy to... Dang it, my camera is like... Maybe it's me. I don't know. But yeah, I'll probably still post the Infernoble Night match, but remember the last 2 minutes got corrupted. I'll leave that in the comments when I post it or in the description. But it was a good match. Absolutely enjoyed it. There were misplays on both sides. It was my first time playing the deck not online, so that was a little tricky. And he had just put the deck together too. That was in round 2. I played against Cash, then Infernoble, and Tier, and then the last round was against Tellers, who ended up beating me because I didn't know that they could just bounce my whole board. So yeah, that's a thing to be aware of. But yeah, still happy about this card. Gonna see what I can trade it for because I don't really have much of a use for it. I don't really have a Synchro-centric deck, although I do have all a Punk. So we might look into trying it in there. I do have a King Calamities, which also needs banned, but yeah. Absolutely great weekend for me, guys. I hope you guys had an awesome weekend. Another big budget deck that came out of this set was Altergeist, and that's another deck I might be looking at, but I'm probably going to be playing this for a little while while I collect the pieces of that. I only have a few cards for Altergeist as of right now, but this deck is more important to me for right now because it's just good. And I'm actually having fun with it. But yeah, remember to like, subscribe, and comment down below on how bad I'm doing, and I'll see you guys next time.